What's going on? So my name is Jeff Sokol. I'm the founder of SWAT Trade and the Alpha Vault. So welcome to the Alpha Vault. That's what this is. This is my podcast, the Alpha Vault. And what is alpha? Alpha is not just dudes saying that they're cool or getting a bunch of chicks or whatever the case is, working out, whatever. It's not gym bro stuff. Being alpha in this sense is being the man that God made you to be, that your wife needs you to be, that your kids need you to be, being that provider, right? Also, alpha is your profits over and above profits of others, sometimes used as in profits above the average of the S&P 500. So anyway, alpha. We are in the Alpha Vault, and you are in the Alpha Vault. You're watching or listening to the Alpha Vault, so congratulations for being here and taking the time to rap with us here today. What are we talking about? We are talking today, what got me fired up to start this video is discipline. I know that's a boring subject, right? It's a pretty boring subject for most people to say, oh, they want to talk about discipline. It's like some people would rather talk about freaking the butt doctors or something. It's not a very fun aspect of life that we need to focus on. So let's not focus on the discipline. Let's focus on the pain of not being disciplined. Okay. And it doesn't sound very much better, does it? But at the end of the day, when what we're looking at is that discipline's hard and regret's hard. So there's only two that I've been able to ascertain. There's only two types of pain in life. You either have the pain of discipline or you have the pain of regret. And that's the only two that really matter. Okay, and we're not talking about physical pain, obviously, but physical pain can be a result of lack of discipline. Do you understand? And be a result of discipline, but that type of physical pain, like if you're working out, is making you stronger. It's a different kind of pain. But again, that's physical pain. We're talking about the pain of discipline versus the pain of regret. And you're already on a path, most likely, if you're not an entrepreneur or if you're not taking that seriously, if you're not taking your freedom seriously, the biggest pains you're going to have in life are going to be the pain of regret. I want to leave everything on the field. I don't want to go through life saying to myself or being on my deathbed, God forbid, that I didn't do something as well as I could have, or I didn't go for that, or I didn't try it, or whatever the case is. And failure is what you're afraid of, right? Or you'd be doing things already. Failure is not what people think it is. Failure is an opportunity to learn what works and what doesn't work. And then we just continue to get better at that. Okay. You think that SWAT trade was the first thing I've ever done? Absolutely not. I've done all kinds of things, and some of them I've been fantastic at and some of them not so great at, but ultimately, whether I was great at it or not, it didn't provide what I was looking for as far as freedom is concerned and impact. It really is the bigger driver for me, is creating an impact. So we have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. It's hard either way, okay? No matter what you choose, life is going to be difficult. Being disciplined is difficult. Working out is hard. Eating right is hard, but so is being fat, okay? And then when you get fat, then you decide you want to get in shape. Now you got to do the hard anyway. You got to do both hards at that point, because working out and eating right is harder when you're already fat. So you have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You probably wish you wouldn't have eaten all those damn Twinkies or whatever the hell your fix is. But so you got the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Learning a new skill is hard, okay? But it's not any harder than being stupid. Learning a new skill takes time and effort and patience, which you should give yourself. But it's not any more difficult than remaining ignorant and broke. You see what I'm saying? So you have to ultimately, especially as a man, in my opinion, I say that because I'm a man, but really anybody, choose your heart. You have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And what we need to come to understand as people is that these different pains that we go through they don't last long. They're only temporary, right? Eventually working out becomes easier. Eventually not eating carbs, if you're on a carnivore diet like I am, not eating any carbs or very little carbs, like very little carbs, maybe 3 grams a day with a salsa on my steak or something, it becomes easy. It becomes a lot easier. It becomes a habit. So at first it was difficult, but it got easier. Working out is difficult, but it gets easier. It becomes part of your routine. It becomes part of your habit. Now you have a healthy lifestyle. Going to bed early is difficult at first, but then it gets easier because you start to notice the benefits of waking up early and you prefer to go to bed early, right? So, and I'm not talking about having to wake up at 4:30 in the morning like I used to and all that stuff. I get up at 5 or 6, right? And that's plenty early enough. I'm beating the sun and we're getting up on time. We have plenty of time to make sure that our day is going well. We have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And you have to forgive me. This is all ad lib this morning. It's just where my thoughts were. And then somebody hit me up on Skype and now I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, when we start talking about this as it pertains to trading, you have to understand that anything worthwhile in life is going to take time. And anything worth doing is worth doing well. People often ask me, Jeff, you've been trading for a long time, so you know how to do it and all this stuff. Yeah, but my students didn't. Okay, that's the thing. Don't judge what we do based on my results. Judge it based on the results of my students. Okay, because all of these guys, for the most part, are people that have had close to zero trading experience, and the people that have trading experience, they didn't have any instruction before. Okay, I prefer people with no experience because they don't have to unlearn any bad habits. And next thing you know, within a few weeks, they click, they see it, and things start happening for them. And then all of a sudden they can get consistent. But that's 20% of the game. The other 80% of the game is becoming the person that you need to be a good trader. And that's basically detaching yourself from the trades and everything else. And this takes a little bit more time, unless you're already just good at that. But when people say, how long does it take to become a trader and be able to, be consistently profitable? Here's what I want you to ask yourself, because pikers today, and when I say piker, in the most literal sense of the term, as far as I was raised on it, and from my time back in New York, is somebody that just absolutely refuses to build themselves, and they don't see, some people call them numbnuts, dipshits, whatever. They don't see it. They know that they have a problem, but they don't have the discipline to go after and latch onto that solution and look 2 years into the future, or look 18 months into the future, or 6 months into the future, right? They want immediate gratification, and that's why they're poor. That's why they're broke, because they have an immediate gratification mindset. And that immediate gratification mindset is a killer, okay? It's a killer for people. They don't have I've got a friend of mine that has been holding Bitcoin since it was like $200, and we wrote it up over 100, and still, he's not ever going to sell it. And the reason he's never going to sell it is because there's too many things he can do with leverage, but he's been holding a lot of Bitcoin ever since it was around 200, 250, or whatever. He has a long-term mindset, okay? And it's made him very wealthy because of it. People without a long-term mindset and an ability to sit there and say, hey, you know what? If I stick with this, I see the potential in this. If I stick with this, I'm going to keep getting better. So let me shoot something to you real quick. Most people that I come across they consider themselves to be entrepreneurs. They aren't, but they consider themselves to be entrepreneurs. And they're looking for some kind of get rich quick deal or whatever. And look, buying an internet program and sending out emails and learning some TikTok video hack does not make you an entrepreneur. Okay. It's bullshit. All right. Let's just call it what it is. It's bullshit. The only thing that's going to make you an entrepreneur is developing a skill set and moving forward with that skill set, but into fruition and profiting from it. What I want you to understand is that when people go to start a business, if you have to start a business, let's say your business costs 6 figures to start, which isn't much of a business, by the way. It costs $25,000 or more to start a kiosk at the mall. So when we're talking about a real business, like even an ice cream shop is going to cost you 150 G's to get started. Okay. When we're talking about a real business, understand that there is a 95% failure rate across the country for small businesses, which is why people don't fund them, which is why you're not going to get a loan from a hedge fund to start an ice cream shop. When you're looking at these things, you might get an SBA loan or something like that. But what we're looking at here is that you have a 95% average failure rate after 5 years. If you trade for 5 years and consistently stick with us and get better and better at trading, after 5 years, you're going to be a trading genius. Okay. It's iterations. And in these iterations, iteration after iteration, after 5 years of iterations, you are going to be a very good and well-disciplined trader. So you just get better. So I want you to think about where you are right now. If you, as a person, are somebody that wants money in your life and you want more time freedom in your life, and everybody said they just want more money, okay? But they don't want money. They want time freedom. They want freedom, ultimately, freedom to buy the things they want to buy, go the place they want to go, with the people they want to go, and be there as long as they feel like being there, okay? That's what trading offers you. That want to do this, if you're a person that wants this in your life, you're going to have to ask yourself this question. At what point are you tired of your pain? Are you going to have the pain of not seeing your kids as often as you like, the pain of not going on vacations? How long are you going to put up with that before you decide to trade? And you say, well, Jeff, what if it takes me 6 months to learn how to do this? It very well could. It's taken other people longer, some people shorter, right? But I want you to think about it. Even if it takes you 6 years to learn how to do this, which there's no reason it should. But even if it did take you 6 years from where you are right now, isn't it still worth it? Think about that. Isn't it still worth the effort? Because if you have the discipline to be able to look forward 6 years from now and be like, man, in 6 years, if I work at this, people go to college for 4 freaking years and come out with no skills. You understand that? They spend $50,000 or more, 6 figures, on college bullshit, and they come out with absolutely no freaking skills. So therefore, why wouldn't you just look at this and say, hey, you know what? Even if this does take me 4, 5, 6 years to do it, I'm going to come out with a master's degree in trading or a PhD in trading. You get your post-hole digger in trading, right? And you can go out there and make more money than any of those freaking doctors, any of them. Because after 5 years or 6 years of doing this, you have developed a skill to be able to log in, profit, and play. That's going to be our new thing. Log in, profit, and play. Because you're going to log in, be able to see when that door is opening up, take your profits, and then go on about your business for the rest of the day. Whether that's kiteboarding or sailing or fishing or whatever you want to do. Go hiking. It doesn't matter. Do laundry. It's whatever it is that you need to be doing for the rest of the day or that you prefer to be doing for the rest of the day with your family. And by the way, homeschool your kids. It's better for them. It's better for you. It's better for them. Don't do this bullshit where you send them off to let the government indoctrinate your children, even in private schools. We pay for private schools too, and or we did. But there's still this stupid government indoctrination program, even in private schools. So, because it's still that Prussian model that is absolutely crushing your kids. Where's my book? I just got some new books I'm going to recommend to you guys, but it's not right here. So anyway, what you're looking at is the ability right here to go and gain everything that you need to gain. You just have to decide who you want to be. You have to decide whether or not you're going to be the guy that starts the family legacy, whether you're going to be the guy that goes and breaks the chains, creates the discipline, instills that skill set of discipline into the children, right? Instill that into the kids, let them have their own wins in this manner, and then have them go with the ability to do their own thing, have the confidence to build their own life in that same way, doing the things that they want to do and what they deem to be important. But more importantly, I want you to see this as just a strategy, which is what we use. We teach our children how to trade as a life skill, just like cooking, just like cleaning, just like growing food. Okay. This is a life skill, the same way that we teach them how to tie, like my friend likes to call it a double Windsor knot. Just like you would teach your son how to tie a double Windsor knot in his tie and do that the right way. And how to dress and how to speak to people and how to shake hands, do all these things. Teach them how to trade. Okay. Teach them also how to trade. And that will give him a life skill, just like he's learning all these other bullshit subjects. And I'm not saying that history isn't important, depending on whose history you're reading. I'm not saying that science isn't important. I'm not saying, because I was very interested in these things as a kid. I'm saying that that teach him also how to trade and pass that skill down. Break the chains of a 9-to-5, break the chains of working for somebody else, break the chains of not being the entrepreneur that he needs to be to provide well for his family, and pass that skill down to his kids. Instill these things. And then what's going to happen is, see, every wealthy family had you've seen these cliches. You got Scrooge McDuck's grandfather over the fireplace, okay? Or whoever, Cornelius Vanderbilt over the fireplace at the Biltmore. And you got a picture of the old man, okay? Now, grandson built the Biltmore, but Cornelius Vanderbilt built the legacy. You understand? He built the generational wealth. John D. Rockefeller was the man that stepped up and created the generational wealth for his family. Vanderbilt stepped up, created generational wealth for his family. Today, this is so common and popular that these people, the generational wealth is, I've got friends today that have more wealth than Vanderbilt people or the Johnson & Johnson or whatever. They've created a system that takes wealth and transfers it from generation to generation. At the end of the day, the guy on top of the fireplace is the chain breaker. And that is a certain vibe. It's not any more difficult to be him than it is, now you might have more headaches or different headaches, okay? But look, if you're working a 9-to-5 and you got to deal with everybody else's shit and managers and people below you and everything else, man, your job is difficult, okay? You just need to learn a skill set that's a different kind of hard. And you're gonna end up with fewer regrets on the backside of it. Even if it takes you 5 years, it won't take you 5 years. If you're smart enough to watch this, it won't take you 5 years. However, even if it takes you 1 year or 2 years to get consistently profitable, which with our method, it shouldn't do, because I took what I learned, which took me years to learn, I took that and condensed it down into something that you can watch right now and just go off of what works all the time. So that's what we do. And that's what SWAT Trade has done is I've taken the ability of something. I've taken my trading ability and condensed it down into what works to where you don't have to do all that homework. So I've basically shortened your learning curve. I'm not going to call it a shortcut. I'm calling it shortening the learning curve. Okay. And to me, that's the benefit of having a mentorship, and that's the benefit of having these coaching services, is having that expertise to rely upon. Nothing we do in personal development is new. Okay, there's nothing new under the sun. All this stuff, like for example, Tony Robbins, see his book back here, or see one of them. Tony Robbins was trained by Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was trained by, is repeating stuff from probably Earl Nightingale or somebody. And then but all this goes back to the Stoics, right? Back 1,000, 2,000 years ago, or longer. And so that's where all this happens. And we take it and we make it our own. And just like you are going to, when you learn this, you're going to take it and internalize it. And it's going to come out mixed with your experiences, right? And you're going to teach it to your kids. That's what this is for. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Alpha Vault. That's all I have right now. I'm glad that we're doing it in podcast form, so you can actually take the information and you can listen to it over and over again, take notes. And anyway, God bless you. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.